Welcome back to AM Northwest. Do you worry that the best years of your life are behind you? Well, before you buy that sports car, have that facelift, or trade in your spouse for a newer model, listen up. Here to share what a midlife crisis really is and what it's all about. Please welcome back clinical psychologist and author, Dr. Michael Friedrichs. Nice to have you here.
Thanks. Good to be here.
I think appropriate that a clinical psychologist follows Christopher Titus. You could, on his family life, had a boat and 2 summer homes. What is a midlife crisis?
Well, the phrase was coined originally in 1965, a year before I was born, I might point out, by a Canadian psychoanalyst named Elliot Jacques. And the theory goes something like this. Imagine that your life is a ruler, and you fold that ruler in half, and right about the time when you have as many years behind you as you do in front of you, you're supposed to have a major life crisis of meaninglessness and age, which is marked by 2 chief features. One of them is a major rethinking of your existence, and then secondly, often irrational behavior, such as buying a red car, going on an extended vacation in Hawaii like Helen.
Yeah.
You know,
Thank you.
Yeah.
So did you say you're supposed to?
Well, the theory is there's a lot of pop cultural interest in this idea. You've seen American Beauty with Kevin Spacey,
right.
Who hasn't? But researchers pretty much widely dispute that it has to happen or whether it happens at all.
Oh, okay, but is it a bad thing if people at that point in their life assess and realize, because it is an odd epiphany to say, I'm probably going to live less than I've lived?
Yeah, and it's not a bad thing at all. It depends what you do with it. I did some market research before the segment. Did you know that nobody's buying red cars?
Really?
Nobody, not even balding white men with liver spots.
Really?
It's not happening.
Okay,
it's not.
Good.
Try to find one on the road when you go home today. It's really...
They're not buying the red cars. What do they do then? What is a midlife crisis? How does it manifest and act out?
I think it's more healthy to look at life in terms of multiple transitions. And the crisis comes when you have too many stressors that sort of come together at once and lack of planning. So let's face it, midlife has a lot of those stressors that just show up. There's hormonal issues, menopause, health issues crop up. Your kids are leaving, your parents might be dying, your career is flatlined, and the lines in your face look irreparably deep.
Yeah.
Most people weather those things very well by leaning on spirituality, friends, family, and so forth. But a small handful of people, and we know who they are, take it to the wall and act really ridiculous. And I've seen some crazy stuff.
You said if you're not prepared.
Yeah.
So preparing for life transitions helps you manage them better. And are you saying then people who don't prepare are the ones who nut up?
Well, that's right. I mean, what happens is people do things like Viagra overdose. I've seen that. That's fun to see.
That was an accident.
Yeah.
It was a party. It was a one-time thing.
Too much facial surgery, buying expensive items and things. I think it's better to look at life in terms of multiple transitions instead of there being a 2-act play, of which this is the apex. You know, wine doesn't peak. It plateaus, actually, and then drops off randomly or dramatically at the end. What people kind of do is they look at their life in terms of the first half and the second half. It's more like a dance club where you're out on the dance floor, and if you participate and the DJ's any good, you don't notice the song change. That's what we want life to be like, successive transitions.
And enjoying that as you go along.
Absolutely, because you're busy dancing. Or what can help you to do that better is by maintaining friendships, building those friendships now, leaning on family, get your health in order early, because I don't know if you know this, but the health behaviors that you engage in now are really not going to determine the length of your life, but rather the quality of your latter years.
I hear that a lot. Well, and you made a point, I was reading, that the sandwich generation,